Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Tom Nelson and this is video lesson number 1 of a 5 video lesson part series on understanding inflammation. First, let's start with what is inflammation. Inflammation is your body's way of protecting itself. It does that by removing harmful stimuli, irritants, and it begins the healing process. Inflammation is part of your body's immune response. Infections, wounds, tissue damage, all would not be possible. It would not heal without inflammation. There are 2 forms of inflammation. There's acute and chronic inflammation. We're going to discuss both of those in fairly good detail. Every day, acute inflammation is active, it's necessary, and it's very helpful. A minor injury, like cutting your finger, can cause acute inflammation. It's that redness, the heat, the swelling, and the pain that you may or may not see, and that initiates the repairs. Inflammation causes blood to flow in increased volumes to the area where the injury is occurring. The white blood cells accumulate at that site of the injury, which protects the body against disease and foreign invaders, things like bacteria, chemicals, viruses, and others. If acute inflammation did not take action, wounds would never heal. So acute inflammation is usually short-term. It means it's only temporary. It'll usually go away after a few days whenever that was wrong has been resolved. Chronic inflammation is a different story. It's long-term, and it can eventually lead to the manifestation of one or more chronic inflammatory diseases or conditions. That could include diabetes, cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, and up to 200 others. Chronic inflammation then occurs inside your body, and it will lead to a major health complications, including gaining weight, which is one of the symptoms that it's taking place. The first stage of inflammation is called an irritation, which can progress into a full-blown form of chronic inflammation. So inflammation is primarily caused by dietary and lifestyle mistakes. It sets in motion a series of processes and other conditions that ultimately causes a significant amount of damage. Eventually, the conditions progress to the point where the body loses control over important functions. That's a loss of homeostasis. Diseases and disorders develop as a result, requiring medications and other controlled practices in order to prevent additional damage. So the symptoms of inflammation are, and they will vary depending on whether the reaction is acute or chronic. Acute inflammation will cause pain during and after an injury. The pain will stimulate the nerve endings to release chemicals which will make the area more sensitive. Redness at the point of injury will occur because the capillaries in the area, those are very tiny small blood vessels, they're going to be filled with more blood than usual. There usually is some loss of function in the region of where the inflammation is taking place. Swelling is often because it's caused by a buildup of fluid in the injured area. As the blood flows to the injured area, the area will begin to feel warm to the touch. Those acute inflammation signs are usually very common to injuries that occur on the skin. But the inflammation can also occur deep inside your tissues, like in the internal organs. Some of the symptoms there may not be noticeable. Some of the vital internal organs do not have sensory nerve endings, which are nearby, so there will be no pain. You won't feel it. You likely will not know that anything is wrong. So lung inflammation is an example of that. The symptoms of chronic inflammation become evident in different ways, including fatigue, abdominal pain, fever, chest pain, mouth sores, joint pain, and even can be in the form of a rash. So now proceed to video lesson number 2, the cause of inflammation. Thank you for watching this video lesson, and please pay it forward and share what you learn with others. Thank you.